Hey guys, it's the end of muzzle loader season. In my parts anyhow, I thought I'd do a little video for any first time muzzle loader gun owners for cleaning their gun before putting it away for the season. So anyhow, here we go. What you're gonna need first, some cleaning patches, cotton. You can pick up a bag of these at any of your firearm stores for, $4 or $5. Along with that, you're gonna need either some gun oil or firearm wipes. You're gonna need your breech plug socket and lever pin. Should have come with your firearm. Some solvent. So I got some nitro solvent here. And some grease for your breech plug for when you put your breech plug back in. Oh, and not necessary, but tool I like is a little extension for your ramrod. It makes cleaning a little easier. You'll see through the video how it works. All right, let's get going. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is remove the breech plug with your socket, lever arm. So what you're going to do here, you can see the breech plug there. Okay. Put the socket onto your breech plug. And then you're going to want to crack it open counterclockwise. Alright. After you've cracked it with the lever, you can pull that out and then twist with your fingers and whip this out. Alright, breech plug is loose. Pull it out. Hard to pick up on the camera. You might be able to see. There's going to be a little bit of a black residue in there. That's just unburnt or charred gunpowder. So I'll show you how to take care of that later. Alright, so the next thing you're going to want to do is grab your nitro solvent, pour it into a little dish. Crack open your cotton swabs, get those ready. Grab your ramrod, and I was telling you before, I like to put an extension on, mainly because the ramrod usually on most guns won't go all the way through the entire barrel of the gun. Just with length alone, and you have to kind of tap it through with something. So yeah, just put a little extension. This one's maybe like 3 inches long or so, and then you can get going. So usually, first patch here, take a patch, just dip it into your solvent here. Okay, get rid of any excess, and just simply wrap it around the tip, the ramrod, and you insert the ramrod in the end. What you want to do is just run it through the entire gun. Pull it out the other side, and then you can see all the buildup in gunk that's inside your barrel. So that's why we're cleaning this thing. So if you want, get the most use out of your cotton, flip it over the other way, run it through again. Okay. it's still going to be dirty. And depending on when the last time you cleaned your gun is, will determine how long this is going to take you. You know, I've shot quite a few rounds through my gun since I cleaned it last, so mine's a little bit dirty. So you're going to want to use the solvent-based swabs, but between you know, every few swabs, one in solvent, you're going to want to take a dry swab also. Works exactly the same. Take your dry piece of cotton, put it on here, run it through your gun. You know, you can give it a back and forth motion. So work the crud out of the rifling. Basically, you want to repeat that. Yeah, this one's looking a little bit better already, not as dark. So I'm going to flip it over and do again. So I'm going to repeat as necessary until basically there's no residue on the cotton swab once I run it through the barrel of the gun. Alright, so I've run through about 10 or so patches and it's starting to get pretty clean, so I'm just going to run one more through here to kind of give you an idea of what it should look like. Running through a dry patch here. Working it back and forth. So that's pretty clean. There's, you know, there's a little bit of, I think that might just be oil actually, but yeah, that's pretty good. So next thing we're gonna do is move on to the breech plug. All right, so hopefully you still have a little bit of solvent in your dish here. I like to get some solvent. I've put a bit here. Usually pour some on either end, so it'll run through your spark hole or firing hole and clean any residue out there, so that when your cap goes off, your spark goes through and hits your powder nice and clean with full force. So you're gonna let that sit for a little bit and use the same cotton swabs as you did running through the barrel of your gun. Basically, clean any of the crud out of there, all of the crusted up black powder that's in there. You want to get rid of all that, just to make sure that your gun's going to be shooting as optimally as possible. That's looking pretty good right there. Probably hard to pick up on the camera, but got rid of all the black residue in there. Get a little rid of this on the edge. Breech plug, cleaned and good to go. Alright, so now that you have your breech plug all nice and clean, one last step before putting it back into the gun. Highly recommend that you put some breech plug grease on it. Right here I have Gorilla Grease. Just helps to prevent any seizing of the breech plug within your gun, prevent any corrosion, anything of that sort. So just apply moderately to the thread of your breech plug, like so, and it's ready to go back in. So you're going to want to grab your socket, your breech plug socket, the lever, then you can insert back into your firearm. And finger tighten it with your breech plug socket. Just spin it on here quickly. Okay, that's finger tight right there. Once you got it finger tight, you just want to give it an extra little nudge. You don't need to put too much force on this thing it's not going to be really going anywhere. So once it's finger tight, just make sure you got it nice and tight there. Don't over tighten it. There you go, breech plug back in. There we go. Okay, so after you got your breech plug back in, final step, you want to clean your firearm. Get it ready to store away for the season. So we got some gun oil, which I showed you before, and some firearm wipes. Basically do the same thing. This one's just a little easier. It's 2-in-1. You got your wipe and solution all in one. This you could just use with your cotton swabs that I showed you earlier. So basically, pull one of these out, put this over so you can see better. Basically, you just run this along all the metal surfaces of your gun. What this is going to do is going to coat and protect your gun against any kind of rust while it's in storage. You don't want rust on your gun, surface rust. Surface rust leads to pitting, and you can't wipe off pitting. Wipe it all down. Don't forget your ramrod, because your ramrod will rust as well. Put a nice coat on your ramrod. Put the ramrod back into your firearm. And there you have it. Good to go. Ready for storage and ready for next season's use.